Hello. So today we are going to go over my a project, which is actually for my statistics course, which is MTH240 at LAURUS College. Let's see. Okay, so it's a poll research project, and my subject is, my topic of choice is favorite sports and recreational activities. My name is Sirnush Migranian, aka Suki-Toons. Um, so I'm just gonna read and go over what I wrote in my report. I chose this particular topic because I found it interesting and important. I think that engaging in one's favorite activities can be uplifting and help to lift one up in tough, mentally and emotionally challenging times. Trying to focus and get better at what one is good at can cheer one up and be fulfilling, make one happier and healthier. Sometimes it takes courage and motivation to get oneself involved with an occupation that one loves instead of being stuck in a rut or not being happy. It is important to do something that is truly joyous and inspiring and that brings the best of one, that may be creative, novel, or enlightening in different ways. Doing activities that one can be proud of and that one can improve at and feel accomplished at is the path to success, just like LAURUS College is said to be the path to success. LOL. In this research assignment, the research goal was to find out and to understand further into what kinds of activities people love the most and what it is that brings everyone a common sense of achievement, regardless of what sport or activity they're naturally inclined to loving and being good at. People usually gravitate towards activities they fantasized about as a child or that they saw their loved ones or family members doing or teaching them or being good at. Also, seeing others successful in that field, um, be idolic figures, quote unquote, or idols, and even as one grows older, watching those who can teach us or to help us learn and to get better pushes us along to advance in our favorite activities. And we hold dear to our hearts those fun activities that make us feel content and comfortable, at peace, and even proud of and confident. Um, that make us feel confident. This is the commonality I observed from the response of this research, or responses, and the conclusion, and the choices made, the explanations and the reasons that are behind why certain activities were chosen over others as the number one favorite selections. Activities where one did not do as well or felt less able than others were not selected as the primary choice because comparisons were being made in one's mind to others, while the picks made after one thought about the different options were the activities where one felt to be the best, and also where one was able to try their best effort that they could and be as good as others in that field, and to excel as one would please, and to be better than those not as good in that particular sport or activity. I did the best that I could to collect satisfactory and clear data that would be sufficient to reach a reasonable and logical result or conclusion about activity and sports engagement. I tried to capture as many activities within the sports or active realm as I could, and I believe that I captured most, if not all of them, out there. I also learned that people love trying new things and challenges and making a name for themselves for being brave and courageous for succeeding in their fave activities. This is definitely inspiring. There are some fearless and amazing people out there. Seeing them in action and in their fields is super great. Thumbs up. There is so much interesting content out there of those who press all the limits and boundaries of being super exceptional beings. And as I said, this is definitely inspiring. Um, the challenge and the bias to be avoided in this study, to wrap it up, was avoiding repetitive answers or inaccurate ones, where someone may answer based on not what they are actually good at, but what the researcher may want to hear. So one must be careful of this in analyzing results at times, as is true with any research or survey. So the next part is a little more technical, so it describes or discusses the statistical concepts and terms or definitions used for this project. So these concepts of statistics were used to analyze raw data and the results and conclusions. The first thing is description, which is observing the behavior in order to describe it. The second thing is prediction, which is identifying the factors that indicate when an event occurs. And the third thing is explanation, which is identifying causes that explain when and why behavior occurs. So these are the important steps used in this project. So this is a case study using the survey method and using random sampling, as well as relationship or correlations. An alternative explanation is so in statistics you have a thing called uncontrolled variables, or also called independent variables, where the differences emerge from the control groups, and these are between the differences between the samples, or in this case, the responders or the people engaging in the activities of their choice. So again, the control group is the dependent or the dependent variable, and this is versus the independent or the experimental variable. So the random sample eliminates the chance of alternative explanations, aka reduces the chance of errors in our study. Hence, I tried to make the sample group as large and as random and unbiased as possible. So by doing an unbiased search, this eliminates the differences except for the factor being researched to get good, reliable results. A bar graph shows from the research sample, aka the survey responders in this case, levels of different categories or variables or levels as shown, which are for qualitative categories. So the categories or variables at different levels create a bar graph. And so the graphs I made using Excel and are shown in two different bar charts since there were a lot of sports and activities. So I had to run the graph function twice by separating the results in two parts because all of the data would not fit in one single bar graph. I used a three-dimensional, a 3D column graph, so it is more visible than a plain one-dimensional bar graph. The y-axis shows the number of responders or people who chose that activity or sport, while the x-axis represents all of the different sports chosen by responders. So, since this is not a screenshot video, I'm going to try to open up the picture of the graphs on my phone and show it. Okay, so the first video, let's see if I can. The first graph. Oh, those are the two graphs. Okay, so like I said, there were a lot of results, so I had to split them up into parts. They're the same style column graph. And let's see. So I'm gonna read these levels. So it's a little bit hard to see. I don't know if it, so the levels were the first. So I mean they're in random order, but on the bar graph, the first. So altogether there are 27 sports. Okay, so this is the first one, first graph. So this one is from one, let's see, one is tennis, two is basketball. Like I said, the order is random, but three is football or rugby, since those are very similar. Four is dance, five is soccer, six is video gaming, seven is weights or gym equipment, eight is baseball or softball, nine, wait, no. Okay, sorry about that. So, I kind of, so, so again, we were at baseball, softball, which is 8, and then 9 is drama, 10 is playing music. Those were, favorite activities or sports. And then the next graph, which continues the list of activities, you can see the levels on here. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of issues with Excel, or not Excel, with actually Adobe Acrobat, which is not wanting to paste the graph, the column graph, accurately from Excel. I'm trying to transfer the graph. And also in Excel, the graphs are, they're animated and have the function active, so you can like change stuff on the graph. But once you copy and paste it into Adobe Acrobat, it's just a picture version, so it doesn't have as much information. But also, so if you do want to submit a project, I would recommend it in the Excel version file because the graphs look better and a little more accurate as far as the graphs go. Obviously, the text and pictures are just as good in Adobe Acrobat, but just for the sake of the graphs and charts, Excel file is more accurate. The second graph, which was the column graph, which was the continuation of the first, had the activities of, so it looks, like I said, it looks something like this. I did correct it a little bit. But anyways, the activities were continuing snowboarding / skiing or snow sports, and then running, and then martial arts, and then cricket. And I was actually contemplating putting cricket with baseball and softball, but I didn't because they are both using similar technique of swinging a bat, but the bats look different. But I left it separate categories anyways. And so then we have ice hockey or ice skating, so like ice sports, and then the next one is swim. So this is also a little bit tricky because there's swim and then there's another category which is coming up, which is similar, and that was other water sports, um, such as water polo, rowing, and surfing. But I left them separate because I don't know. Anyways, and then another category is skateboarding. Another one is gymnastics, cheer, and yoga. Another one is badminton. We have golf. We have biking. Um, and then we have roller skating or rollerblading. And then in other categories, we had 4 others choices which were specified, and those were air sports like sailing and diving, or like air type things, and then let me see where to go. And then also other table tennis, other wrestling, and other videography was also listed as a sport or recreational activity. Those are all 27 of them. Mm. Where's the other one? Pictures. Okay.